Here we go. We are live. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, guys. Hope you've had a great weekend. I see in the chat that someone thought I was in the Wyvern Theatre today.
What have you been doing in the Wyvern Theatre?
I was not in the Wyvern Theatre. It wasn't me, I'm afraid. I've just been arm wrestling, but yeah, no, that's not at the Wyvern Theatre, so it wasn't me. Good job you didn't go up to them and
I know.
or maybe they would have just rolled with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see who's in the chat. Hip flipping mama. Andrew's here. Sarah, another weekend closer to Europe's than the World's Strongest Man. Yeah,
Indeed it is.
3 weeks until Europe's Strongest Man, I think. Yeah, and then is it 10 days after that?
World's Strongest Man starts, or if they fly out 10 days after it. It's pretty soon. It's all coming around fast.
Yeah, the very beginning of May is World's Strongest Man. So it's very exciting. Hello, Fred. Sorry that you missed the live on Monday.
Yeah, we were naughty, weren't we? We did a live on a Monday
We did a
instead of a Sunday.
Monday live because we were absolutely exhausted on Sunday. Hope Rauno joins us tonight. I finally learnt where Estonia is as Hedgehog.
It's good. We're educating people on where countries of the world are.
Are we?
Well, apparently.
I see Mitch beat your max axle press, Loz.
He did, but that was never going to be an issue for him. Although I am proud of what I did. 205 kilos at the time of when I did it was pretty impressive, I think. I was very, very proud of it. But yeah, Mitch is a freak, and who knows what he's capable of when they get to, doing some max axles a little later in the year.
Fred with the members chat here. Good morning, afternoon, evening all. Hello, Fred. We hope you're doing very well. Monica's here. Sarah's here.
Nolan.
Who?
Nolan. Jane.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading something else. Fred, thank you very much for gifting memberships. Always very generous. England's under 80 kilo live stream today. Did you catch some of it?
I didn't. I seen a couple of videos online. Had a client competing in as well who hit some PBs, which is great for him. He wasn't kind of expected to win or anything, but hit PBs, which is kind of what we want with depending on what level of athlete you're at. Yeah. But yeah, good to see the under 80 kilo athletes getting some airtime.
I saw some of it on an Instagram live stream. I think it was Official Strongman that live streamed it. Was it an Official Strongman competition?
I guess so. It was a bit chaos, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what I was seeing. I don't know. I was just watching it. I don't even know what I'm watching sometimes. People getting gifted memberships. Right. Let's see. How's it going?
Mr. Lungu, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Let's see if anyone's got any interesting questions this weekend.
Good evening, everyone. There's lots of people.
Victor, I haven't seen your name for a while. Hope you're doing okay.
Janasha's in the house.
Oh, look.
We're looking forward to seeing this man at Europe's Strongest Man.
Very strong as well. What was it, a 430 kilo deadlift?
Yeah, Janasha in his prime, let's say, back in, was it 2016? He came fourth at World's Strongest Man.
In 2016, which I think was his first World's Strongest
Man.
His
first World's Strongest Man.
Us if I'm wrong.
And for a number of years, he was just like a guaranteed finalist at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
And if he can get himself back into that kind of shape, he's going to be dangerous. So hopefully you are training hard and feeling good. And I've seen you've been doing some arm wrestling as well with the big man. So, maybe after the competition, we can have a little practice pool.
Do you know, to be fair to Janasha, he was actually really good in World's Strongest Man last year, but he was in a horrendous group.
Yeah, a terrible group.
Yeah, he had obviously Tom and Pavlo with just
Janasha is an amazing strongman. He's had obviously the injury on the dumbbell, but hopefully he's getting back to his best.
Yeah, it'd be good to see.
Excited to see him.
Yeah.
Hope you're well, buddy.
Nolan, who? How dare you, Liz? Sorry, Nolan. It's like a knee-jerk reaction.
She says that to me though. Like, Loz, who's that?
Who? What? Where am I? Bo with the members comment. Hello, Loz and Liz. Any word on Gav at the Arnolds? Yeah, so Gav, he felt something in his knee when he picked up that yoke. He said, I spoke to him afterwards. He was like, oh, it felt like an electric shock. It was just really painful. But it wasn't nothing too serious. Obviously, he didn't pull out of the competition and he's hoping to be fine again. It's just one of those things, wasn't it? But honestly, when it first happened, I was terrified. I was like,
I know. Well, I kind of run up to him just to make sure that he was all right. But it was just his knee. So
yeah,
I say just his knee. Obviously, never good.
He wants his knees.
The knees, it's strong, man.
Yeah,
we get these things.
Hedgehog, thank you very much for gifting a membership. Austin with a members comment. Howdy. Nearly forgot. Glad you didn't, Laura. Nice to have you with us. Should Hatton get a World's Strongest Man invitation? Yes.
Absolutely. Should he? Definitely. More than good enough. You know, watching that performance at the Arnold's UK, clearly a very, very strong guy. Whether he will or not is a different kind of matter.
There's only 2 spots left.
But I think he at least deserves a shot at a Giants Live. I mean, look, if it was up to me, he'd have an invite. Okay, so if anyone's saying, "Oh, Loz isn't saying he should be there," I think he should be there, 100%. I do not have the authority to put him into World's Strongest Man.
No,
so when I kind of no, exactly, and that's what I'm trying to explain to people. I understand. I know how World's Strongest Man works. Is when I kind of explain these things to people. You know, World's Strongest Man uses Giants Live as a qualifying tour. Obviously, Giants Live has the official Strongman Games, which is a qualifying tour to get to that for the heavyweights. And because he didn't do OSG this year, he's put behind, he's not going to have that automatic kind of spot. But his performance at the Arnold's UK was outstanding, and he's clearly good enough. And if he keeps coming to comps and keep smashing it like he is, he's going to get there. There's just no doubt about it at all. So our dog just been chilling. As soon as we come on for the live, she decides it's time to play.
Yeah, she's tipped over her toy box and she's getting everything out. I'm sure she'll be on the live.
But yeah, I've got to say, Lucas Hatton has been pleasure to watch. Really nice guy to talk to backstage, and I can't wait to see more of him at the top level.
And Mystic from here, looking at the lineup on the Strongman archives, 10 nationalities represented out of 13 athletes. Really great to see. That's Europe's Strongest Man.
Yes, I said earlier that I really like the lineup for Europe's.
Yeah.
Lots of
strong lineup as well.
It is.
It's got Mateusz back since his first time there since 2019. She's going insane.
Luke Stoltman looking really good. Obviously, Pavlo's going. Novikov is going. Browno, Ivers,
Andre Fortu, like some really good Janasha. There we go. It's going to be a great show.
Luke Stoltman, he looks in great shape training.
Really good right now, yeah. Where are we? Cybernetic Strongman. Hello, all.
Hey, buddy.
Stephen. People who've received the memberships.
Lots of people happy to see Constantine.
Liz letting the fame get to her head. Was that me saying who? There is no fame. I don't want fame.
Liz doesn't remember people. You don't remember your own family half the time.
What's it for a brain?
But that's what makes her fun. There's no filter. We don't know what you're going to say, do we?
No, I don't
never know what's going to come out of your mouth.
I don't know what I'm going to say. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can hear this dog. Holly, come. Holly. No.
She's got like a toy box, and right now she's hiding. Well, she's kind of digging deep in that toy box. And she's got all these different toys, and do you know what she's pulled out? A plastic bottle.
Someone, David, saying that Lucas should at least be a reserve, and he'd be a great reserve.
Like I said, I don't even think he should be a reserve. I think he should be in. It's just understanding how it works. I'm not convinced he will get that invite. I hope he does. I hope I'm wrong. I just wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't this year.
No, I'd be more surprised if he does, especially with Europe's coming. I think my conspiracy theory is I think there will be a space for Iron Bib if he wants it. And I think one will go from Europe's who hasn't qualified already, the highest placing.
Yeah.
So like Janasha is not announced yet. Andre Fortu, Pa. I think everyone else at Europe's is invited.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh no, Swedish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten his name. Oh God. And the more I try and search for it, the further it goes from me.
I know who you mean.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
It's not Frederick, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's the other one. Oh dear.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel bad.
Yeah, so do I. Give us a shout out, Loz and Liz, Andy and Susie just down the road.
Hey, Andy and Susie from just down the road.
How far down the road? Just down the road as in just round the corner. Where are we? Toby.
Frederick Johansson.
Oh, it was Frederick.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I feel better now.
Oh, I feel worse.
You should.
How? Bought an axle to work on grip, and my thumb is pathetically weak and failing very early. Any thumb exercise?
Pinch grip. Pinch grip is awesome for thumb strength. So like having two smooth plates out and kind of squeezing, you can kind of get various different grip tools to help with squeezing type movements. But just getting the thumb, it's that pinch gripping movement is going to help improve the thumb strength and will help then on the axle as well. Single and double-handed is really good. Like you can get a barbell, put two 20 plates, so the smooth sides are out, and then kind of do two-handed. So you kind of squeeze in the plate like this, lift, put it down. You can do holds, you can do a max effort, but definitely helps.
Dom here is saying, I can't believe World's Strongest Man is about a month away and it's been crickets. There has been very little information.
World's Strongest Man haven't posted much, have they, at all? Other than they did like announce athletes. There's not been much more.
There's been no event announcement. Obviously they announced that tickets went on sale and still are. Presumably there are some available through their website. But other than that, yeah, there's been very little information.
They've got new people, I think, on the social media, haven't they?
Yeah. Mitch Ladner, who was the social media director, has moved on to a different role. So it is, I don't know if it's a whole different team, but it's certainly being managed by
was very
else.
Sort of proactive and trying to sort of post things all the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Right now, it just seems to be, I've seen the World's Strongest Man page just seems to be reposting a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Hopefully we will hear more very soon.
Which kind of covers that question.
Loz, have you ever competed in the SCL?
Have you?
Yes, I have. I've won SCL competitions before. I've competed in a fair few of them. I can't remember exactly, but I won in Holland. I think I won in Holland. I won in Finland.
South Africa.
I won in South Africa. I won in Holland. Finland as well. And I was often second to Zadrunas in many competitions.
Yeah.
That man cost me a lot of victories.
How many guaranteed last place group finishers are being invited to World's Strongest Man simply because of their nationality? Thank you for the super chat, Hal. If we have a quick look at last year's last place finishers in the group,
I don't think anyone has been invited that was last place.
I don't think so, because I was quite
from
impressed.
Last year.
So, when they announced the lineup last year, I was quite impressed that none of the last place finishers, I believe, from the year before, or even fifth place, were re-invited, and those slots were given to all new people. We had quite a few new people last year. Let's have a quick look for science.
We'll check.
Because but
I'm pretty sure from last year's last place finishers, no one's been re-invited.
Let's have a look. Right, got dog at my feet now. Oh, okay. Hold on. There are some exceptions. Eddie Williams.
Okay. Was he last in this group?
He was last
Whose
in
group
this
was he in?
Pablo and Tom's.
That's a
and
nasty
Bobby's.
Group. And Janasha.
Yeah.
That was a tough group.
That was a tough group. Fadi Al-Masri.
He's not been invited.
No. Spencer Remick. Not been invited. Gabriel Rome. Not been invited. And Coco. Not been invited. Yeah. Also, if you look at the fifth places, Paul Smith is not on the list. Kevin Ferris is not on the list. Graham Hicks. Christian Haraldson has been. Parr not on the list. Parr still has an opportunity at Europe's Strongest Man. But I think it's going to be tough.
That lineup's going to be very tough.
Yeah. For anyone who's not already qualified to sort of break through amongst that group of athletes. It's going to be interesting, though. Catherine, what's the chances of getting a max log event for the ladies? I really want one of the big shows to do this. That would be really good.
I think at some point this year we could see a max log for like a big max log effort for some of the ladies. There's some opportunities coming up.
Are you guys going to Rogue in Aberdeen this year? I personally can't wait to buy my ticket. Yeah, we definitely plan on being there, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Have my glasses on today. Do you think we will see a World's Strongest Woman contest on par with the men's soon?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the World's Strongest Woman run the same as the World's Strongest Man, or even like an arena show just for the women.
Yeah.
I think we've got the standard now, and the growth in the fan base is getting better. I will say that it's still not comparison comparison to the comparable to the men's side of things, but things are growing, and we as the fans have to keep trying to push that and keep it getting bigger and better. But right now, to the masses, it's the heavyweight men that kind of bring the interest in. It's it's improving. We've got more. The one thing that's much better now is the amount of competitors on the lighter weight classes and the women's side as well, which is allowing it to be more like a sport. Because essentially, originally, it was just the freaks. Yeah. You got the freaks, and it was a TV show. Now you have like a structured sport from the highest level right to the grassroots. We've got novice competitions, we've got under 80s, under 90s, under 105s, even under 120 kilo class on the men's side. Women's have, I think there's the lightest class is like 50 something kilos. Yes, I can't remember what it is. I think at OSG, the lightest is 64s. And they've got the 73s, the 82s, the women's, the masters. So in terms of a sport and structure, there's much better. But in terms of still bringing fans to the sport, it is the heavyweight men or world's strongest man that is the dominant force, the dominant kind of bringer of numbers.
We see that in YouTube views as well.
Massively. If you just look at our views from last weekend, from the men's events to the women's events, and also one of the big issues on the women's side is just the negative comments that come from
horrible.
But I don't know. I don't know why these people come and comment. If you don't like it, just don't watch it.
I know. I can't imagine.
It doesn't help us as a sport having all that negativity on, particularly, and it is worse on the women's videos.
Oh, way worse. Yeah.
Always. But it is getting better. The fact that the women at the Arnold's is huge. And to be on the same stage as the men, and obviously, Jan Todd has a huge amount to be thanked for that. Without her, that wouldn't be happening. So that's a big thing. But hopefully it keeps getting better for the women, because I genuinely love watching them. The competitions are so entertaining. They battle hard, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah. Strongest man's not being pushed at all. They want him to join my thumb wrestling academy. God, who gave me a really good bloody thumb war? Angelica Jardine. Like, we had to call it a tie before someone, me, got hurt. Because it was getting exciting, wasn't it? In the lobby of the Hilton.
Yeah, she was competitive.
She was really good, yeah.
She was ready to kick your ass.
She was. So had to stop it. Where are we? People asking where Tristan
Levi can come and work for us if he's good on social media.
They should hire me, marketing manager and content creator. I'll get their posts up. World's Strongest Man, if you're reading this, slide into my DMs.
I need a good content creator if you're offering.
How dare you?
You don't even...
No, I know.
You're like, I need help. Now you're telling me off.
I'm joking. What was I going to say? Levi owns Smash and Pass, which those of you who've seen the really cool like Doom style deadlift t-shirts and the strong t-shirts and whichever ones are there. Oh, the Super Mario Bros style one.
Yeah.
Those are all Levi's designs. So he is very good, very artistic. Do we just join in? Do we know anything yet regarding World's Strongest Man 24 events? They haven't been announced yet.
I can tell you this just from competing at World's Strongest Man as many times as I have. There will be an overhead event. There will most likely be a deadlift event. There will 100% be stones of some sort. There will be some kind of, probably there's going to be some kind of loading event. You just have to look back at World's Strongest Man competitions and kind of look at what they've done in the past. And it doesn't vary that much, does it?
No, it doesn't vary that much.
But I think the events will be announced soon. There's going to be some kind of moving event. There's probably going to be a throwing event. There'll be a max event. There'll be an event for reps. It's pretty... If you're an athlete, you kind of have a good idea of what to train for. Yeah. The athletes have been told a rough idea of the events. They haven't been told weights or distances or anything like that, but they do know what they should be training for.
Do you mind clicking on L press cap, please, Ozzy?
I will indeed. There we go.
Thank you for the super chat. If the events of World's Strongest Man were bar bending, arm wrestling, sumo, medley in the water, fridge running, and murder ball, how would you coach Midge?
I wouldn't need to coach Midge. Mitch would probably be good at all of them. He's so naturally athletic. But yeah, I mean, bar bending, I think he'd struggle. Arm wrestling, he'd definitely struggle. I kicked his ass at arm wrestling. Sumo, he'd probably be pretty good. He's got a good natural athletic ability and learns things very quickly. Medley in the water, he'd be awesome. Fridge running, he'd be awesome. Murder ball,
he'd probably
be pretty good. It wouldn't take long to figure out what murder ball. I think bar bending would probably be the hardest for him, and arm wrestling. But arm wrestling is hard if you don't know how to arm wrestle.
Well, we all saw what happened to Mega Man.
Yeah. So you don't want to be really strong and then just arm wrestle someone that knows how to arm wrestle, because you can end up getting hurt. But interesting events. I'd still love to see like just a random comp of some of the top guys do what the original World's Strongest Man did.
I'd love to see it. It would be fun. Someone needs to put this on. We should put it on. Someone needs to fund it.
Yeah. Who do you think has the best shot of beating the 501 deadlift?
Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah, I'd say I feel he is the most likely to beat it. There's guys that might get close, but if I felt someone could beat that this year, it would be him. Now, as it stands, he's not doing the Deadlift World Championships, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get an opportunity to do a massive deadlift at some point this year. He has got other comps that he's focusing on, and there may be opportunities for him to go for it. But I think guys like Rauno, guys like Makarov.
Even Makarov isn't doing it.
No, he's not doing this.
No, he's retired.
Is he?
Yeah. He's
retired?
Yeah.
I see him posting. He's got like an amazing back on him. You see like the amount of muscle on his back that man has?
Yeah.
He posts these pictures.
Not a reason not to retire.
He's too young to be retiring.
I know.
Just needs a little break, that's all.
He's younger than me.
He probably tried to do the 501 a bit too much. I think he just needs a bit of a break. And
he's tried it more
he's someone that has a chance at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hicksy is very focused on it this year. So there's guys that could get close, but you have to say Thor is the most likely to break it.
This one here, Matthew asking if there's a public database or website for strongman data. Yes, there is. It's strongmanarchives.com.
There's two. There's Strength Results and Strongman Archives. I prefer the layout of Strongman Archives. It's a bit easier to use if you ask me, but Strength Results is really good for smaller competition results. So they're both good websites to look at if you're interested in results from Strongman.
Strongman Archives is made by our friend Ella Fournier.
It is.
And Bill
we like
Henderson.
To support them.
Yes. What's going on with Pavlo Nekonechny? So he was involved in a big car crash, wasn't he, last year? Was it in the summer? Maybe a little bit earlier than that? Was it before Worlds?
Yeah.
I can't remember now, but yeah, last year he was in a big car crash. Like, we don't really know any details about his injury other than he had like a massive like laceration across his stomach, didn't he?
He's not spoken too much about it that I'm aware of. I've seen his back training, but whether he's going to compete or not, we just don't know at the moment.
Oh, and any news on why Pav? Yeah, sorry, thank you for the super chat, but no, we don't know anything.
TJ and Boris, good name.
TJ,
thank you very much.
Yes. What did you want me to click on? Do you think Mitch could break the Axel world record?
Yes, I do. And I think he might this year. I think there might be a couple of opportunities to break it. And I feel he's capable. He's getting stronger. His technique on the Axel is very good. And he's got a chance. He's not that far away. He's definitely got a chance.
It's a good idea to incorporate the women's competition with the men's, like for the Arnolds. I've certainly gotten into their sides of the sport recently. Yeah. And I think that's like the idea with the promoters, because you sort of absorb a lot of the costs because they've already got the venue and everything else, etc. And also, it doesn't really force people to watch it, but it does bring more eyes to it because you bring that, audience for the men to the women also.
Well, if you take the Arnolds, for instance, the real seller for tickets at the Arnolds was Thor. People can argue that as much as they want, but he sold more tickets for the strongman than anyone else. Then probably Mitch and, maybe Kiliashkovsky. And, there's interest. But the fact that you're on the same card as that and get to then show people what you can do allows that side of the sport to grow. It's like being a fighter on the same card as Conor McGregor. You're going to have so many more eyes on you that it gives you that opportunity to show. And not everyone's going to like it, but lots of people do. And we're seeing more and more fans now that just genuinely love watching the women's comps, which is great.
Angelica could break you, Liz. She could, but she's a lovely lady and she would not.
None of the strong women would break Auntie Liz.
No, I'm their auntie.
They protect you.
They protect me with their lives. Well, maybe not. TJ and Buzz, thank you for the super chat. The women are awesome. Screw the trolls. Congrats to Lucy.
Thank you, and thank you for supporting them. It's really good, because I know a lot of the women do get down about it. It's horrible when you see these kind of comments, and
they're human.
Yeah, yeah. It's horrible when I see negative comments. I'm kind of used to it though, but some of these are still young ladies.
Yeah,
just new to it, and it's the needless comments.
Well, you think that, and some people, they act so innocent. Oh, I'm just asking. I'm not being rude. Is that a man? It's like, but you are being rude. If I was to question your masculinity, you would not like me. Like, it's no different questioning a woman's femininity. They're all women, born women, die women. They are women.
That's another subject as well, because subject. But the women that we know are women, and they're
born women. Yeah, exactly.
They're determined athletes, and just people at the end of the day, which I think sometimes people forget when they see people on a stage. You forget that they're just humans.
Yeah. Everyone excited to see the puppy. She looks like she's getting bigger. Yeah,
she has grown so much in such a short period of time. She's like 2.5 kilos heavier in a week.
In 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
Rob saying, can we get a damn calf flip at the World's Strongest Man this year?
That would be cool. That would be cool. Calf flip is just a good event.
Last time I saw one was at Glenn Ross's competition, UK Strongest Man, a few years ago.
That was the last time I did one, was at Glenn's comp.
We just don't see them often.
And I won the event. I'm just going to point out.
Oh, there you go. Well done, Lozzie.
Smug old guy that used to be good.
Rasmus, thank you for the super chat. Hello, Stronglings. How long until Thor has his shoulder power back? Will he ever? Until then, I don't see him winning over Mitch.
If he gets his shoulder power back, he's a big problem for Mitch. Happy to admit that. I'm sure Mitch would admit that as well. If you look at what Thor has done in the past, for instance, just look at the Arnolds. He's done three reps. I think he's done on that axle before, which would have got him really good points. It might have even been 4. I need to double check. He's pressed the stones and he's shouldered the stones before. So he's clearly not back to his best on certain things. I think it's going to take him another 6 months to a year to really have that power back. I do believe he's capable of getting back to certainly close to where he was before, and even just close with everything else that he's good at, is good enough to be a major threat for big titles. Right now, it's just been a bit too soon. But coming back from major surgery usually is, honestly, something that can take about 2 years. And I think it's only been 9 months.
Yeah, they're 10 months, I think.
So give him till the end of the year, and I think we're going to see much more power in the overhead from Thor. And he's already looking really good on other things, and almost better on certain things than he was before. His grip and his speed on farmers is looking pretty good. His throwing is always just phenomenal. His deadlift is ridiculous. So, yeah, they could have some big battles.
Loz. Can't I Leave It is asking, did you always pass all of your pre-show medicals, or were there ever any issues like blood pressure, etc.?
I have always passed my medicals with flying colours, apart from one time. I still passed, but my last World's Strongest Man was probably my worst medical. My blood pressure was higher. I was the heaviest I've ever been. My fitness was the worst it's ever been. I tried to come in really big and strong, and it was just not the right approach to do. But for 95% of my career, my medicals were absolutely perfect. Blood pressure was perfect. I've always tried to kind of look after myself internally. So I've been lucky, but yeah, it's good that the athletes are made to do these medicals.
They have to have one before they go as well.
So you have to do a medical before you get to World, and then you do another medical at World's Strongest Man. And I think for anyone that's training for strongman and stuff, it's good to get your sort of bloods done once a year at least, just to check how your health is.
Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Tom could be the only one capable of doing the 600-pound stone at the Strongest Man on Earth at Shore Classic, and maybe for more than 1 reps? This is the...
Oh, so I mean, 600-pound stone is just a...
I don't think he'd need to do more than 1 rep, to be honest.
Who else could potentially do something like that? Like, I think if we look at the best stone lifters of all time, we're probably looking at Thor, Brian Shaw, and Tom.
Yeah.
Someone like
for big Max Stone like that.
Yeah, they would be my 3 main choices. I think. There's some other great stone lifters out there.
I don't think anyone's getting.
Don't see anyone like. I think they're the best in my opinion. Can you think of anyone else that's up there with them?
I don't think we're missing anyone obvious.
I mean, Trey's a great stone lifter, but I don't think he's on that level still.
No, I don't think so. No, but I mean, so many of these guys, we haven't seen them tested in a Max Stone, so
it's not something we see that often.
No, we don't.
And obviously, with improvements in tacky, things could become different because they've all got like the deadlift or back strength to lift that weight. Yeah. But being able to hold on to the stone is something completely different.
That dog is something completely different. She's got the late night zoomies. The women's show was better, in my opinion.
I agree. The women's show was so competitive.
Oh, it was just chopping and changing with each event, wasn't it? My goodness, this dog. Ali, thank you for becoming a channel member. Oh, dear.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, I like this video. Max Saxon bar for World Strongest Man final. Oh, God, no.
Do you know what the Saxon bar is?
Yeah, it's that grip.
Yeah.
I've lifted it in Texas.
Just checking.
Yeah, I know.
Just checking.
Oh, honestly, what do you think I am?
Just testing you.
She's nibbling my boot now. Toby, it's so good to have Thor back in Strongman.
I agree.
Yeah, it is good. Hold on. God, she's eating the damn table. Tray of healthy.
Go back up. There's a question.
Matt Rag, if he gets an invite, maybe.
For what?
For the Shaw Classic, Strongest Man on Earth.
Maybe. Like it's a big stone we're talking about. Someone asked if your knuckles ever hurt.
The evening after doing grip, I feel like I've got arthritis all of a sudden.
There's certain lifts that really do. Like I was doing timed holds weirdly on the Saxon bar the other day. I was doing 3 sets of 30-second holds on a Saxon bar, and it's like it's weird because as I let go, it's almost like there's more pain as you let go than when you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like stretching your fingers out. It can feel a bit uncomfortable, but some things, no, I don't feel like it. But certain grip movements, they can hurt the knuckles and joints a little bit. Liz, Loz daring to question Liz's strongman.
To be fair, a Saxon bar isn't really a strongman thing either, is it? It's a grip nerdy thing.
Yeah. So, do you remember Belsac bouncing?
If you can bounce it, yeah, I do. At a Giants live show, yeah. Where are we? TJ and Buzz, thank you for the super chat. Sorry if it's been asked a lot, Loz, but will we see you in action again anytime soon? Come.
Potentially, I might do some comps for fun. Right now, I have no intention of competing anytime soon. The next sort of 6 months for me are about just getting my body feeling good and trying to lose some weight again. So not last year, year before, I lost 100 pounds. Last year, I focused on competing at the World Masters, put a little bit of weight back on. Nothing crazy, but my weight went higher than I want it to be. I basically feel I'm not strong enough to be this weight. So I've been focused on eating well again, training hard, and I just still love training. And the focus for me right now is to get down to 120 kilos by the summer. So that's my next focus. I'm doing a lot of arm wrestling training, bodybuilding, and just trying to get my body functioning as well as possible. There is a potential chance that I'll compete in the British Masters in November, but I can't do the World Masters this year because it's the same time as our daughter's 7th birthday. So I wouldn't do that this year. But if I decide I want to compete and my body feels good, then there's definitely a chance. But my body will dictate whether I compete or not, because right now I'm enjoying training. If I start doing strength training and there's certain things that my body hurts doing, then I stop enjoying it, and then I get a bit miserable. So it's important for me that I'm enjoying it. I've got no interest in trying to be a pro or anything like that. So it has to be fun. But I'll never say never. If something I like the look of and I feel good, then I may compete. Probably said way more than I needed to. Then. It's typical of me, isn't it?
No, you're fine because it gives me a chance to read ahead. How, thank you for the super chat. This is the only channel where I can gift memberships from my phone. Have you done something special with your channel?
Not that I know of.
You don't do anything with
No,
the channel.
Liz might have, but I wouldn't have.
Nothing. No, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're able to do that, but that's good.
Thank you very much, Hal.
Yes, thank you.
Would love to see Z or Chad Coy head judge. Z's a brilliant referee. Chad's a great referee as well. So yeah, I think they'd be good referees.
Where are we? Oh, TJ and Buzz, thank you for the super chat. Obviously looking forward to Auntie Liz smashing it. Yeah.
And the guns out. They're covered up at the moment.
They are. I'm bulking. No, I'm not. There'll be no bulking. Someone asked Carl Slug if I was on the super creatine yet. How would the members comment? Maxime said he could lift the 600-pound stone.
That would be great to see.
Max is an incredible stone lifter.
Yeah.
Shane Flowers did a 240 stone for a double some time ago.
Really good. The one thing I will say, right, Shane's a great stone lifter, and I've said this.
Of a competition.
Yeah. I've lifted a 230-kilo stone before. Okay, very different to consistently being really good at every single stone run that there is. When you look at Tom, can you remember a time he was bad at stones? Other than one time when there was like the thing with Evan at Giants Live and the stones kind of bashed into each other. So that wasn't that doesn't really count. He's consistently always really good at stones. None of these other guys can say that. You know, they can be good in the gym. They might have a good run. Look, I've a stone run where I beat Trey Mitchell. It doesn't mean I can consistently do that. No. I was up and down on stones. Tacky would sometimes work really well. Sometimes it wouldn't work well. Sometimes you feel good. But it doesn't matter what stone it is. Tom beats everyone else. So you have to kind of understand the difference. And I say this many times. Every stone is different. So you can have a stone with like nice dry conditions. It's got a nice finish to it. The tacky sticks perfectly to it. And it's easier to lift than a dusty stone or a stone in humid conditions. You know, there's so many factors that make a stone different to lifting a bar, for instance. You know, if you're both using the same bar and same weights in different places, it's still the same. Yeah. But using a stone in different places can be completely different. So what people do in training, I don't take too much notice of. Not that it's not impressive, but when you see someone that can do it time and time again in a competition, that's when you know this guy is phenomenal at an event like that. And that's why you have to say Brian Shaw, Thor, and Tom are the best stone lifters.
This is a good question. Loz says Z is the greatest strongman of all time. Whom does Loz think is the greatest strong woman of all time?
Ooh, now that's a very good question. I think the best strong women ever are the current strong women. Obviously, the sport's come a long way. I think
I have an answer.
I would say the best strong woman that I've ever seen is Victoria Long.
Yeah.
I think she is the most complete strength athlete I've seen on the women's side. But she's had a very short career. You know, Donna Moore has won 3 World's Strongest Woman titles.
She's the most decorated.
So it's difficult. I don't.
Donna Moore won a lot of competitions back when the women's side of the sport was smaller, but that's not to say if there wasn't more people to push her that she wouldn't have also gotten better. The sport has been pushed to another level, and I think now we're seeing the best strong women we've ever seen, but because of the competition. Yes, exactly.
You know, it's different generations. It's always hard to compare, but the sport's evolving massively.
What's quite incredible, and I think Britain's Strongest Woman last year was a really good example of this, is the women's weights, everything's gone up through the roof and is so much harder. But Donna came down 20, 30 kilos body weight and is still competing at that level as well. So
exactly.
Very impressive. And obviously she's had the much longer career, but I agree. I think Victoria's the best.
I think the other thing is strong woman just is a newer sport than strongman. I know that might sound weird, but
no, it is.
You know, when I was doing strongman, I remember Britain's Strongest Woman having 2 competitors in it. Now, every weekend, there's strong women competitions going on with, classes that are full. So the sport has grown rapidly in the last sort of 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. Dear. People talking about super creatine. What the heck has happened to Evan Singleton?
He's training hard for Worlds. Picked up a bit of an injury at the Arnold Classic, but he's training hard.
I think Evan's going to be really good at Worlds this year. Like last year was the first time he made the final, and I think he really needed that. Right, I can make a final without killing myself to get there because I'm good enough.
Yeah.
And boom, he's in the final. He's 5th place overall. Like he would have wanted more, but I think that would be a big confidence boost to him going in this year. What do you think?
I agree. I think Evan. I think Evan has all the ability in the world to be the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. Sometimes I question the way he does things. I think sometimes he needs to calm a little bit. But when it comes to pure talent, the guy's got everything to be one of the best.
And even though there's no seeding at World's Strongest Man, he should have quite a good group for
He
him
will.
because he's won 2 2 Giants Live competitions in the run up to this.
He's top 5 in the world. There's no question about that.
Well, we had him at number 3, didn't we, on our end of 2023 thingamajig?
Yeah.
What's this? Alpress Cat, thank you for the super chat. Waiting for a Shaw/Thor build strongwoman to enter. Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
That would be
We've
scary.
already got some giants out. Rebecca Roberts is
6'4". Yeah, I'm looking up to Rebecca.
Yeah, she's so tall. I'm not sure she's done growing yet. She's freakishly tall. Lucy could be the best ever.
I think we're in a generation of strong women that are just going to keep beating each other.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones. And I think it'll be event dependent because we've got so many great athletes that are, they're all good at different things. And I think we're just going to keep seeing improvements all the time.
Yeah. Rasmus, thank you for the super chat. Jumping back to shoulder power, how do you maximize your overhead strength? Weight, exercises, frequency, accessories, other tips. Maximizing shoulder strength. Jumping
back to shoulder power, how do you maximize your overhead strength? Like you would with any lift, you've got to train it. The technique is obviously massively important for individual strongman events. There's bodybuilders with immensely strong shoulders and their workout volume is high, very, very strong, big shoulders, but they might not necessarily be good at a log or an axle or a dumbbell. So it's getting that combination of, or firstly understanding what you're training that strength for. If you're training for, bodybuilding, that's completely different to being an Olympic lifter. And Olympic lifting is different to being a strongman, although there's going to be a huge amount of carryover. So you need skill-based movements as well as strength-based movements as well. And it depends on what level you are as a competitor. So as a beginner, I would say focus on, basic compound movements, strict pressing, push pressing, getting your shoulders strong, triceps strong are going to help. Core strength is massively important. Flexibility to perform movements effectively. And then as you kind of increase, you might look at more specific movements, such as like a power jerk might be real beneficial for certain strongman events, like an axle, for instance. Dumbbell pressing is a little bit different again. Lots of leg power is involved in a dumbbell press. So it's not always just shoulder power that you're going to be looking at. It's where I need to be strong for a specific movement. But essentially, just structuring your training to get stronger is always going to be beneficial.
Jared, thank you for the super chat. Do you have a collection of Strongman VHS, DVDs, or hard drives full of competition videos? What do you do when you're feeling nostalgic or need to research?
I don't know where it is right now.
In the drawer under the TV.
Yeah, I have like 2 big piles of CDs, like this high, of old strongman DVDs. So I've got like all the World's Strongest Man, all the Pure Strength, loads of like super series, loads of just obscure shows that were filmed all over the world, like different country competitions. And I used to watch them all the time. I made you watch them as well. Yeah,
that was one of the first things, like, rather than movies and stuff, he said, right, we need to get your strongman knowledge up. You need to watch this.
What a sad
from 1977.
What are you still doing with me?
I don't know. That was 12 years ago.
When I was kind of, on my way up in strongman, I used to love watching the old videos, and I learned a lot from
watching the movie as well.
But I'd learn a lot from watching the old guys and just pick up little tips and try them. I always say with coaching, there's not one way of doing something. So you watch different athletes and you start figuring out different things, and then eventually you find out the best way for you. And it's important as an athlete to understand there is different ways of doing things, and you go and watch different athletes that are built differently, and you kind of pick up real good tips. So I hate seeing these videos that you see online. It's like, you must be doing these exercises to be the best, because I've interviewed 5 of the best guys in the world recently, and they all say different things.
Yeah.
So there's no one set way of doing things, but I love watching the old stuff or watching new stuff. I watch under 105 guys, under 80 kilo guys, women, men.
There's loads on YouTube as well. Tons and tons of that.
Yeah, it's I've gone off on a tangent because I kind of always look at it on how I can improve things, but I do love watching old strongman just for entertainment value as well.
Mrs. TM with a members comment. Liz's max deadlift. I've reached 82.5 kilos 5 weeks in. I have no idea what my max deadlift is. I don't know.
You've done 120 before.
Was it as much as that?
Maybe
I don't think so. No. I think it was 100, but we were just messing around.
Yeah, you've never done a max. I've
never attempted. No. So I don't really know, and that was without straps as well. So I don't know. I know. But what I mean is, like, my grip will be the limiting factor. So I don't know.
Your back would be the limiting factor.
How dare you?
Seriously, your grip wouldn't be the limiting factor. Your back would.
I need to go and flex my back at Loz. There you go.
Your grip's reasonably strong.
Yeah, I have to drag you around. About 100. I don't know though. I don't know. I it's not something I test.
Jill Mills, she was a great strongwoman. I saw someone mention Jill in the comments. Yeah, she was a powerhouse.
Yes, Jill Mills was. Ines has some cool I didn't hear no bell t-shirts to order. Oh, bless her. It's good that she's there. Although to need strength, surely Alexi has shown the dumbbell is so heavily technically.
There's a huge amount of technique, and we saw it on the women's side at the Arnolds in Sam Bellevue. Sam didn't come anywhere near winning the log, but her dumbbell is fabulous. The technique that she has on that is unbelievable. So, yeah, there's a huge amount of technique to these lifts, and it's kind of weird I find it weird when people kind of think any overhead is the same, because they're really not. There's certain athletes that excel at log lifting. There's certain athletes that excel on dumbbell. Some are really good at Viking press. Yes, there can be carryover, but just because you're an amazing log lifter does not make you an amazing dumbbell presser.
No, I think the most impressive thing about that was that Sam did that after a 300 kilo yoke.
But I'm on about even the one at the Arnold's when she got the record, the 84 kilos, was it?
Yeah.
She's got fabulous technique, brilliant rack position.
Yeah.
Perfect leg drive, perfect direction, and locked out straight away. It's if you're looking at doing a dumbbell, go and watch her, because technically superb.
Where are we?
And yes, Alexi is the same. Very, very technically efficient, lots of leg power. Good explosive drive through the legs.
Unbreakable Promotions in the house.
How you doing, Edie?
Strongman Champions
Going to be talking to Edie and Evans this week.
Evans, Nana. This is a good question. Same. Can't I? Lever. Do you call it lever or lever? But lots of good questions. What would Loz estimate as Thor's ultimate ceiling at deadlift? Terry Holland says 550 kilos is out of the question. What do you think?
Do you know what? I used to kind of think things were not possible, but these athletes just push each other to new levels. It depends how willing they are to push. Something like Thor, I believe Thor is capable of around like 520. When he pulled the 501, 520 didn't look impossible.
No, it didn't.
Now, at the moment, it's a big ask, but someone's going to do it eventually. And then you think, well, 525 is the next goal. And then suddenly 550 becomes closer and closer as a reality. So who knows what it will get to?
I'm sure there must have been a time where 400 seemed...
Yeah, like the level just keeps getting better. If anyone ever does 550, it's going to be absolutely insane. Yeah. But, when someone does 505, and it will happen eventually, someone's going to do 510. And then 512, and it'll keep creeping up a little bit. And also, I will say the bars that people use now, the deadlift suits, the straps, they all make it a little bit easier than it was for guys earlier in the career. So we can't always compare it exactly, but you look at these big freaks like a Thor, who's a huge human being. He can kind of add so much muscle to that frame. He's a well-trained athlete. His deadlift technique is superb. He's already back, and probably you got to say he's the best deadlifter in the world right now. Is he at his absolute best? No, which is a scary thought.
Yeah.
He's got more if he wants it, if he's willing to push himself to extremes. It's whether he's willing to do that and wants to do that. You know, he's got nothing to prove, but if he wants to do it, he's capable of some crazy stuff.
Liz, given the size of your thumbs, I'm sure your grip will be fine. How rude. My thumbs are perfectly normal sized.
Here's the man.
Yay, Rongo's in the house. Good morning, my friends. It's 5 a.m. here in Australia, and we're out filming A Day in the Life with me.
We can be on Rongo's film.
Oh, yes, with the camera. We hope you have a really good day, Rongo. I look forward to watching it. Rongo's so much fun.
Everyone loves Rongo.
Yes. TJ and Buzz again. Thank you
so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Seen Thomas started training biceps after his injury for tendon strength. Opinions on how important bicep strength is in strongman. Not seen much in training videos, but so many tears.
Yeah, I mean, I tore my bicep in strongman in 2007. I tore my right bicep. And did very little bicep training back then. I do more bicep training now because I do arm wrestling than I did for strongman. I think bicep health is more important than having a really strong bicep. Like, I know arm wrestlers that their biceps are way stronger than certain strongmen. I know bodybuilders that their biceps are way stronger than a lot of strongmen. Bicep, like direct bicep strength, is not massively important in many movements. However, the ability to be strong throughout your whole body is important. So I think a little bit of bicep training is necessary. I don't think you want to overdo it. So like if I'm structuring someone's training, sometimes there's going to be no bicep training at all because you're adding it. You've got to kind of think on how much you have to focus on. So what's important and what's less important. Bicep training is just less important than a lot of other types of movements that you're going to be doing. However, ignoring it completely is probably not the smartest thing to do as well. So a little bit of bicep training is useful. Thinking of how you need those biceps to be strong. So an Atlas stone, squeezing a stone, your kind of arms in a bent position. It's not the safest position in the world. So having a little bit of strength in that type of movement is important. Hammer curl type strength, so your forearms are strong, helps you think about the way the log is. You shouldn't be bicep cleaning a log, by the way, but there is a little bit of strain on the biceps. Should be a lot more hip driven rather than bicep driven. But there are times when having strong biceps is important. Any type of pulling movement, your biceps are being worked, even deadlifting. So the biceps get worked a lot without necessarily direct work on them.
Question from Ruben. Any good stories from competing against Magnus Samuelsson in the Sweden Grand Prix?
Not really. Like, that was my first ever Super Series. And I was just, excited to be there. Nervous. Magnus was great, but like, he didn't know who I was, and he probably ignored me, to be honest. I have a better story of Magnus meeting him a few years later and just like chatting to him and just having a normal chat. Like
2019.
Yeah, that was great.
We got to spend the evening.
When you're competing against someone, you're there to win, and he was there to win that competition.
Yeah. Magnus is such a cool guy, though. Really like him.
I genuinely really like him.
Yeah. He was like one of your first talking strongmen as well in 2020.
Yeah,
great guy. I want to visit his farm in Sweden.
Yeah.
Magnus, if you're watching. I don't know if he follows much strongman now. He came to Giants Live in 2019.
Yeah, he did. Poundstone. What's that you've gone over? Yeah, Poundstone had some strong biceps for sure.
I thought that said curvy biceps, crazy biceps.
I'll tell you an interesting story of Poundstone. Poundstone did an arm over arm in a competition, and it was an easy arm over arm. He pulled it just with arm strength.
Yeah.
And then I competed against him at an arm over arm in Ukraine in 2010 or something like that. I can't remember what year it was. And it was a stupidly heavy one. And he went with the same philosophy that you could just use arm strength. It was so heavy you couldn't budge it. You had to really rely on grip strength and then huge amounts of leg power. So arm over arm is one of those events that varies greatly every time that you do it, and you've got to be able to figure that out. So sometimes, yes, you can just go with arm strength and bicep strength, but the biceps are a small, relatively weak muscle compared to the quads. There's much bigger, stronger muscle groups. So they act more as a supporting muscle than a power muscle, if you like, in terms of how you use them.
Yeah. And let's not forget the king of biceps, Manfred had some big old biceps. Was it ever decided, like, was he all natural? Not natural, obviously. The biceps? Should I just not ask?
If you have to ask, that's just... Do they look natural?
No. No, they don't. But it seems a strange thing for a strongman. I guess he did bodybuilding as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't know, actually, to be honest. If he must have, I guess.
He did do bodybuilding.
Manfred did amazing. Manfred was a beast.
That eyebrow raise. Just trying to have conversation.
No, it's a good conversation. I don't know how honest you want me to be about it, but were Manfred's arms natural? No.
Were they all real?
I mean, they were real arms, but there may have been some.
Did he have an implant?
Pretty sure there might have been some synthol in those arms.
Okay.
Which I find like absolutely pointless for strongman. I don't know why anyone would use anything like that for strongman.
Manfred natural, love you, Liz. You know what I mean? It was the synthol. Someone's saying the dog's gone quiet. She's asleep on my foot.
She's asleep. She's happy.
That's why, yeah.
Right, I was looking at this. Would it make a difference with 500 being on a stiff bar to a deadlift bar? Yes, it would make a difference. A stiff bar is much harder to pull on. You get less flex, so you can't get the bar up as high, so it's a harder pull. Pulling on a stiff bar, different to pulling on a longer, flexible deadlift bar.
There you go. Deary me. Where were we? Manfred's arms did bring eyeballs to the sport.
He had some big old arms.
Oh, what was it? Was it after a track ball in Nice? Was it Nice? 1993? My huge muscles.
Orange.
Oh, that was it. That was it. Nice is a different year. Yeah. He was like, oh, my huge muscles. You know the thing I'm talking about. Like he was talking about his muscles getting pumped. I'm not very good at impressions. Let's quickly move on. Oh dear. What's this? Yeah, that's what I was having a look at. Loz and Liz missed the live last week, but how impressive was Max on the bag over bar, coming in second with his non-dominant hand and the other tied around his back? Yeah. Canadian is strong.
Yeah, it's good to see Max back. He's had a bit of bad luck the last couple of years. He needs to get himself competing in some slightly lower level shows, I feel, and just remind people how good he is. The problem is with Max, he obviously had the injury. He's come back to some big shows and picked up some more injuries. He needs to do a few slightly lower level shows,
just like Giants Live,
shows like that, Canada's Strongest Man, etc. And just remind people of how good he is and get himself back into the winner's circle, if you like. Because what was it, fourth at World's Strongest Man?
No, he came third at
World's Strongest Man.
The last two times he competed there, he was top 5.
Yeah, he's Max is an amazing stone lifter. He's an amazing thrower. His log is very impressive. He's got certain events he's outstanding at. He has a couple of weaker events, but so do most guys. So he is in that level of athlete that with the right events, he can do some major, major damage. With the wrong events, he can look average. But Max at his best is a fantastic strongman.
Late to the party. My fiance bought tickets to the World Tour finals for my birthday a few weeks ago. It will be my first strongman competition. Very excited.
Awesome.
That's really cool. One of my favorite Giants Live shows, the World Tour finals up in Glasgow. Really, really good fun. Grip is an issue for Maxime. Yes. What?
Maxime's grip is good.
He's got really good grip. Are you joking? Are we not in on the joke? All right,
Max was third at Worlds, so yeah, he's great.
Let's start wrapping up. Do you think a 375 kilo bench is possible? Jim Reaper said that's his goal on Eddie Hall's video today.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some crazy numbers, but people are getting closer. So 375 bench, it will probably happen one day.
Is that without the suit? Best thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jim Reaper is a beast. The guy's benching is unbelievable. There's other huge benches out there. I think we'll see 800 pounds and then on to 375, 370, then 375. It's avoiding injury for a lot of these guys. You're asking the human body to do such extreme things, whether it is the deadlift, whether it's the squat or whatever it might be. Being able to push the body to these limits and not get hurt is very, very difficult.
Late to the party this evening. Do we know if Giants Live are inviting more to the Vegas show? I know we can't get Thor there, but surprised Makarov wouldn't be invited, and Matt Rag, for example.
I thought Matt got an invite. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Matt Rag?
Yeah.
I thought he got an invite too.
I think Matt will get an invite.
I think Matt will end up there.
He may well have been invited and not yet.
We haven't ruined.
No. He may well have been invited and not accepted yet because he's got
maybe.
World's Strongest Man and other things that he's focused on. You know, athletes sometimes take it one show at a time. You know, I know sometimes I've said before, oh, why is this guy not been invited? And then promoters have told me they have been invited. They just haven't accepted. And I don't know if he has or hasn't is all I'm kind of clarifying there.
We need more women. Someone to challenge Lucy.
How many women do you think they'll take? I don't think they'll take many.
No, I don't think they'll take many. I mean, with Victoria out, Lucy's the best deadlifter in the world right now. With Victoria out, I think Andrea, I said it like a question. She had the world record before Lucy, didn't she?
Yeah.
Do you think she could push to 700 pound plus as her coach?
The one thing with Andrea is she's going to start using a suit, which is something she's never done before. And I think that could potentially help her because she's very, very strong at lockout. So it may help her, give her power off the floor. Whether she can push, she can't push Lucy. Lucy is in a world on her own right now on the deadlift. But I think Andrea can certainly go over 300. How far Lucy can go, she made that 700 pounds look easy.
Yeah, she does.
There's a few women that are sort of, you know, they're around that sort of 300 level
ish.
But Lucy's out on her own for sure.
Yeah.
Makarov, you said he's retired.
Yeah. He said he's retired after that would be his last attempt at a 505 last year.
Well, we'll see.
At the World Open.
As we know, people retire and come back.
Yes, they do, Lozzie.
I've not tried to come back as a pro, so.
No, it's true. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Bring back the backlift. No. Even you're going off the backlift.
I'd still love to try it. Definitely.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
But you don't really want to watch it.
I'd watch it once. Like
one lift.
I don't know. I'd watch it in a comp.
Okay.
But yeah, I maybe not as much as I wanted it before.
Okay.
But I think it's cool to try, you know, a lot of these old classic lifts. Tamara Walcott, yeah, a huge deadlifter.
Yeah.
Huge power lifter.
Lucy, 505 in Vegas. Rebecca Roberts, if fit. Deadlift's not Rebecca's.
She's not a bad deadlifter by any means. Like she's up there at that sort of, you know, she could probably get to 300. But again, can anyone push Lucy? That's the question, I guess.
Yeah. Right, shall we wrap up then?
Let's wrap it up for a Sunday night. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Yeah, 3 weeks till Europe's.
3 weeks until
Europe's Strongest Man and the build up to World's Strongest Man. Like we said, you know, we'll have a lot of videos going out for Worlds this year. Soon we should know what the events are. We should know all the athletes. So then we can get into the fun bits of predictions and how we think people can do and all sorts of fun stuff.
We've got our first biography video coming out this week as well. You've wanted to do this forever, haven't you? Like a video series and biographies of legends in the sport. So we've started with Jean-Paul Sigmarsson. So
who better to start with?
Yes, I really wanted him ready for tomorrow. Realistically, it's probably going to be more like Tuesday, but hopefully you consider it worth it. Hopefully I'll consider it worth it.
Oh, and thank you to everyone that's kind of liked the channel because we've gone over 150,000 subs.
Yay,
so yes, thank you so much, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Smile and wave, Lozzie. Keep smiling, keep waving. There you go.